Hi there, welcome back to Math Magic with Sonia. In our day-to-day life, we often come across plane surfaces such as the surface of a table or this whiteboard or maybe this sheet of paper or the screen of our laptop or monitors, etc. Many of these are in the shape of squares or rectangles, but not all shapes with four sides have to be squares or rectangles. So in this topic, understanding quadrilaterals, we will broaden our understanding about quadrilaterals in general and also learn more about some special types of quadrilaterals like the parallelogram, trapezium, square, rectangle, rhombus and kite. In fact, quadrilateral is just a fancy maths name given to a polygon which has exactly four sides and four angles. Quadri means four and lateral means sides. Now, since quadrilateral is a polygon, we must first understand what polygons are before going in detail into quadrilaterals. And the definition of polygon is, it is a simple closed curve made up of line segments. So, to understand this definition of polygon, we must first understand what is a curve and what do we mean by a simple closed curve mathematically. Now, what is a curve? By definition, a curve is a plane figure formed by joining a number of points without lifting pencil from the paper. So, if I start from here and move my pen freely without lifting it from this board and stop here, so I can say that this is an example of a curve. Or if I draw something like this, so I can say this also is a curve. But wait a minute, if I start from here and draw a straight line like this and stop here without lifting my pen. So as per the definition, to make the straight line I have not lifted my pen. So I can say that this also is a curve. Yes, in normal language when we talk about curves, we refer to something which is not straight. When we say that the road is curvy, it means that the road is not straight. But mathematically, even a straight line can be referred to as a curve. So, from this we can say that all figures made up of straight lines are also curves. So, if I draw something like this, I start from here and without lifting my pen, I reach here. This also is an example of curve. So, all figures made from straight lines are curves. I start here, move the pen without lifting, reach here. This also is an example of curve. But if I were to draw something like this, suppose I draw a circle, this is an example of curve. But if I draw two eyes in this circle, now to make these two eyes, I had to lift my pen from here to reach here. So, whenever I lift the pen, then that figure is not a curve because then I get a gap. Curves have to be continuous or connected without gaps. So, this is not an example of a curve. Or if I make two circles like this, suppose I make this circle, now to make another circle inside, I have to lift the pen. I lifted the pen from here to reach here. So this also is not an example of a curve. Now look at the figures on the left hand side and the right hand side. All these are curves because they satisfy the definition of curve, which states that a curve is a plane figure formed by joining number of points without lifting pencil from the paper. So what difference can you see between the curves on the right hand side and the left hand side? The main difference is that the curves on the right hand side are crossing themselves at some point or the other. So if you see the curve over here, it crosses itself at this point. The second curve also is crossing at this point. In this curve, it is crossing itself at this point. In this curve also it is crossing at many points. Whereas the curves on the left hand side do not cross themselves. So such curves which do not cross themselves are called as simple curves. And the curves which cross themselves are called as not simple curves. So I can say that these are simple curves. And these are not simple curves. Now you all will say, these two figures are not crossing themselves. So why these curves cannot be called as simple curves? The reason is, if at any point in the curve we can move in 3 directions, then again that curve is not a simple curve. So if you see at this point in this curve, we can move in 3 directions. One is this, if I take this point, one is upwards and one is downwards. And in this curve also, if I take this point, I can move in 3 directions from this point. One is this, one is in this direction, and the third is this direction. But in simple curves, if we take any point on the curve, only we can go in 2 directions. So for example, if I take a point on this curve, so I can move in only 2 directions, either this side or this side. Or if I take a point on, say, this curve, this point, again I can move only in 2 directions, this or this. Or if I take a point on this line, again I can move only in 2 directions. Or any point where I can move in only 2 directions. So another point to be noted is that simple curves can either be open or closed. For example, this is a open simple curve and this is a closed simple curve. In open simple curve, we'll have always 2 endpoints and it will not enclose a region. But a closed simple curve will have no endpoints because the starting and the end point is always same in the closed simple curve. And it will enclose an area or region. For example, this is enclosing this region within itself. Now all of us know what simple closed curves are. A simple closed curve has 3 parts. So suppose I draw a simple closed curve over here. The part inside the lines, enclosed inside the lines, is called as the interior of the curve. This line is called as the boundary of the curve. And the part outside the boundary is called as the exterior of the curve. The interior along with its boundary is called as the region of the curve. Interior plus boundary gives the region of the curve. We can compare the interior, for example, to our house, and the boundary of the curve to the compound wall of our house, and the exterior can be compared to the road outside the house. Now you probably already know what polygons are. Here are some common examples which you might recognize from everyday life, because polygon is a multi-sided shape, and the definition of polygon is, it is a simple closed curve made up of only line segments, and all these satisfy the condition of being a polygon. Now since all of us know that polygons are simple closed curves made up of only line segments, we will identify the following curves whether they are polygons or not. In the first case, this is a simple closed curve made up of only line segments. So I can say yes, this is a polygon. In the second case, again, this is also a simple closed curve made up of line segments. So this is also a polygon. In this case, I have a circle, and although it is a closed 2D shape, but it has no sides or vertices or angles. It is a curved shape, so it is not a polygon. In this case, it is a simple closed curve again made up of only line segments. So yes, this is also a polygon. Now in this case, in this curve, 2 lines cross. So this is not a simple closed curve. So this cannot be a polygon. In this case, again it is a closed 2D shape, but the curved part over here disqualifies it from being a polygon. Now if I draw this, can you tell me whether this is a polygon? Well, this is also not a polygon, because polygons are 2D or 2-dimensional shapes. All the vertices lie in the same plane. In this case this is a 3D or three-dimensional shape. This is a triangular pyramid. So if you see, the individual faces of this pyramid although are polygons, but as a whole this is not a polygon because it has volume in it. We can go in and out. In 2D shapes we can move up or down or left or right. We cannot go in and out like in this. So this is not a polygon. Now firstly we need to know the three parts that make up all polygons. They are the sides, the vertices and the angles. Now what are sides? The line segments forming the polygon are called its sides. So in this polygon ABCDE, the line segments which form the polygon are segment AB, segment BC, segment CD, segment DE and segment AE. So the sides are segment AB, segment BC, segment CD, segment DE and segment AE. And the end points of these line segments are called as the vertices. So the vertices are A, B, C, D and E. Individually we can call them as vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, vertex D and vertex E. Together they can be called as vertices. Vertices are the points where the sides intersect and angles are formed. So over here side AE and side AB, they meet at this point and so an angle is formed, and the other angles are angle B, angle C, angle D and angle E. So the angles of this polygon are angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D and angle E. In fact, the word polygon means many angles. Another point to be noted is that all these polygons are 2D or two-dimensional shapes where you can move left or right or you can move up or down, but you cannot move in or out like we can do in solid shapes. It means that all the vertices lie on the same plane, and also these are closed shaped figures, that is the sides are connected such that there are no gaps between them. Now we need to know some important terms related to polygons. The first one is adjacent sides. Any two sides which have a common endpoint are called as the adjacent sides of the polygon. In simple language we can say the sides next to each other or the neighboring sides. So if we consider the polygon ABCDE and if we see side AB and side BC, both of them have a common endpoint B. So we can say that side AB is adjacent to side BC. Similarly, side AE is also adjacent to side AB because both of them again have a common endpoint A. Then we have the adjacent vertices. Now, the two endpoints of the same side of the polygon are called as the adjacent vertices of that polygon. So, over here we can say that D and E are adjacent vertices because they are of the same side, endpoints of the same side of the polygon. Similarly, D and C are also adjacent vertices. C and B are also adjacent vertices. But C and E are not adjacent vertices because C and E do not lie on the same side of the polygon. Then we have the diagonals. Diagonals are line segments obtained by joining two non-consecutive vertices of a polygon or by joining two vertices we can say which are not adjacent to each other. So if I take point B and I have to draw diagonals for this polygon, A and C are adjacent to B, so I can join B with E. Then I can join B with D also because B and D also are not adjacent. Then if I take point A Now B and E are adjacent to A. So I have to draw a diagonal from A to D. A and D are not adjacent points. Then I can draw a diagonal from A to C. A and C also are not adjacent vertices. Now I consider the point C. D and B are adjacent to C. So I can join a line segment from C to A. C and A are not adjacent, and C and E are also not adjacent. So I can draw another diagonal from C to E. So I have two diagonals going from point D, DA and DB, from point E, EC and EB, and from point C, again EC and CA, and two from B also. So in all I get 5 diagonals. We can classify polygons based on the number of sides or vertices they have. If a polygon has 3 sides and 3 vertices, it is called a triangle. A polygon cannot have less than 3 sides. If a polygon has 4 sides and 4 vertices, it is called a quadrilateral. We will be studying about different types of quadrilateral in this chapter in detail. If a polygon has 5 sides and 5 vertices, it is called a pentagon. Similarly, if it has 6 sides and 6 vertices, it is called a hexagon. If a polygon has 7 sides and 7 vertices, it is called a heptagon. If a polygon has 8 sides and 8 vertices, it is called an octagon. If it has 9 sides and 9 vertices, it is called a nonagon. And if it has 10 sides and 10 vertices, it is called a decagon. We will be normally studying only these polygons with 10 sides, although polygons may have more than 10 sides also. Now, what is the difference between convex and concave polygons? Over here I have drawn 2 convex polygons, and here I have drawn 2 concave polygons. In terms of diagonals, in case of convex polygons, none of the diagonals will lie in the exterior region or outside the polygon. All the diagonals will lie within the polygon. As you can see, I have drawn the diagonals here. Whereas in case of concave polygon, a portion of diagonal will lie outside the polygon. So in this case, if you can see, one of the diagonals lie here, and in this polygon also one of the diagonal lies outside the polygon. And as far as the measure of angles is concerned, measure of each interior angle of a convex polygon will always be less than 180 degree, whereas in concave polygons at least measure of one of the interior angles will be greater than 180 degrees. So if you can see, in this case this angle is greater than 180 degree, and in this case over here this angle is greater than 180 degree. But in this chapter we will be studying only the convex polygons. We will not be dealing with the concave polygons. Then we have the regular polygons and the irregular polygons. Regular polygons are both equiangular as well as equilateral. That is, both the length of its sides and the measure of all angles will be equal in a regular polygon. And if it is not so, then it is an irregular polygon. So for example, if we see the square, the sides of the square are equal as well as the angles are also equal. So square is an example of a regular polygon. Whereas in a rectangle, although the angles are equal, but still the sides are not equal, only the opposite sides are equal. So rectangle is an example of irregular polygon. Similarly, in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal as well as all the angles are also equal. So equilateral triangle is also an example of regular polygon, whereas a right angle triangle is not a regular polygon. And if we have a regular hexagon with all sides equal, then its angles also will be equal and it will be an example of regular polygon. Whereas if the sides of a hexagon are not equal, then it is an example of a irregular polygon. That's all about this video. Hope you liked it. We'll learn more about polygons and quadrilaterals in the next video also. Till then, take care, have a good day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.